Following the incident, health experts have a few reminders for public safety. The gas cannot be seen or smelled, which emphasizes the importance of regularly checking your carbon monoxide detectors. Emily Riley continues our team coverage in the studio after talking to health professionals about carbon monoxide and the safety measures you should take. Emily.
Cami and Bill, we're waiting to learn from the Crandon School District whether the building has working detectors. They aren't required by state law, but the Wisconsin DHS recommends that schools have them. Claire Poprocki from the Brown County Department of Health Services says some warning symptoms of exposure to carbon monoxide include headaches, fatigue, dizziness, shortness of breath, nausea, confusion, and in extreme conditions, it can cause death within minutes. So preventative steps are key. Health experts highlight the importance of annual inspections for furnaces and wood-burning stoves to prevent carbon monoxide leaks. They say any malfunction in these appliances can pose serious health risks.
Carbon monoxide detectors can be bought at most hardware stores from between like $20 and $50, so they're relatively inexpensive.
Officials stress the significance of paying attention to these symptoms and immediately seeking fresh air and calling 911 if you're exposed to the gas. They're encouraged prioritizing carbon monoxide detectors by changing out your batteries at least once per year. Cami and Bill.